In the early 1930s, Walt Disney understood, as no one else did, that for animation to improve, his artists would have to study. Not just drawing, but movement, and how movement related to character and personality. The young animators who understood this concept quickly rose in the ranks and led the studio to its greatest glory with the creation of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and the other pioneering Disney features. One of those artists was Art Babbitt, who had already made a name for himself on the staff by animating the Big Bad Wolf in Three Little Pigs. Perhaps his greatest moment at the Disney studio came when he animated the balletic mushrooms in the Nutcracker Suite sequence in Fantasia. But in 1935, he set his sights on Goofy and delivered a lecture to his fellow animators about this character that helped explain once and for all who Goofy was and how he ought to be approached. Rarely has any animator articulated so beautifully the workings of a character. Here's some of what Babbitt had to say.
It is difficult to classify the characteristics of the Goof into columns of the physical and mental because they interweave, reflect, and enhance one another. Therefore, it will probably be best to mention everything all at once. Think of the Goof as a composite of an everlasting optimist, a gullible good Samaritan, a half-wit, a shiftless, good-natured hick. He is loose-jointed and gangly, but not rubbery. He can move fast if he has to, but would rather avoid any overexertion. So he takes what seems to be the easiest way. He is willing to help anyone and offers his assistance even when it is not needed and just creates confusion. He very seldom, if ever, reaches an objective or completes what he has started. His brain being rather vapory, it is difficult for him to concentrate on any one subject. Any little distraction can throw him off his train of thought, and it is extremely difficult for the Goof to keep to his purpose. Yet the Goof is not the type of half-wit that is to be pitied. He doesn't dribble, drool, or shriek. He has music in his heart, even though it is the same tune forever, and I see him humming to himself while working or thinking. He talks to himself because it is easier for him to know what he is thinking if he hears it first. His posture is nil. His back arches the wrong way, and his little stomach protrudes. His head, stomach, and knees lead his body. His neck is quite long and scrawny. His knees sag and his feet are large and flat. He walks on his heels and his toes turn up. His shoulders are narrow and slope rapidly, giving the upper part of his body a thinness and making his arms seem long and heavy, though actually not drawn that way. His hands are very sensitive and expressive, and though his gestures are broad, they should reflect the gentleman.
Pardon me. I didn't know you were in there.
Never think of the Goof as a sausage with rubber hose attachments. Though he is very flexible and floppy, his body still has a solidity and weight. The looseness in his arms and legs should be achieved through a succession of breaks in the joints rather than what seems like the waving of so much rope. He is not muscular, yet has the strength and stamina of a very wiry person. His clothes are misfits. His trousers are baggy at the knees, and the pant legs strive vainly to touch his shoe tops, but never do. His pants droop at the seat and stretch tightly across some distance below the crotch. His sweater fits him snugly except for the neck, and his vest is much too small. His hat is of a soft material and animates a little bit. The Goof's head can be thought of in terms of a caricature of a person with a pointed dome. Large, dreamy eyes, buck teeth and a weak chin, a large mouth, a thick lower lip, a fat tongue, and a bulbous nose that grows larger on its way out and turns up. His eyes should remain partly closed to help give him a stupid, sleepy appearance, as though he were constantly straining to remain awake. But of course, they can open wide for expressions or accents. He is very bashful. Yet when something very stupid has befallen him, he mugs the camera like an amateur actor with relatives in the audience, trying to cover up his embarrassment by making faces and signaling to them. He is in close contact with sprites, goblins, fairies, and other such fantasia. Each object or piece of mechanism, which to us is lifeless, has a soul and personality in the mind of the Goof.
Are you feeling better now, miss?
The improbable becomes real where the Goof is concerned. He has marvelous muscular control of his fanny. He can do numerous little flourishes with it, and his fanny should be used whenever there is an opportunity to emphasize a funny position. Well, this little analysis has covered the Goof from top to toes, and having come to his end, I end.